Alright guys, today we have a 2012 Kia Sorento and we're gonna do the rear brake pads. I'm gonna bring out my camera. Just wanna show you guys what we're gonna do here. This is the rear brakes here. The brake pads are in there. They're totally finished, alright? And the caliper here has number 14 bolt here and 14 bolt there, alright? But we're not gonna remove the top bolt. We'll just remove the bottom bolt, alright? I'm gonna take my camera around and so we can have a better look. Right there, seems to be good. Alright, there you go, that's good. What we're gonna do is first remove this bolt. This is 14 millimeter. You're gonna get this bolt out. Once you have this bolt, you could use a flathead screwdriver or a pry bar, and you're gonna pry this caliper open. Let me go get a flathead screwdriver and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna take my flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna yank this. You can, once you get a little bit open, you have a little grip here to pry the piston back a little bit on the brake, and after that you can move it by hand, right? And then you can slide out this caliper from the pin, put the caliper somewhere to the side, and you have access to these brakes. You could use a flathead screwdriver to remove the brakes. You see this brake pad is finished. Again, on this brake pad, you got two little notches here. This brake pad goes on the outside, so these has to face out. And I'll remove the inner brake pad. This seems to be jammed up. Right, there's the inner brake pad. The inner brake pad has this little brake indicator here, this rear indicator. So it goes on the top like that on the inner brake pad. Alright, after that what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this hardware here, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just scrape the dust off this. If you don't scrape this dust off, the new brake pads are not going to sit flush. Alright? So make sure you clean it nicely and clean. Sometimes the brake pads come with a new one. Right. You can also use a wire brush. Right, once it's clean, what we're going to do is we're going to take the brake pad with the two notches, which is going to be on the outside, just like that. Make sure your brake pad goes in smoothly, alright? You should not have to hammer it or punch it in, right? If that's the case, you need to file a little letter here so it can go in smoothly, right? So the inner brake pad does not have the two notches, but it got this little brake indicator, rear indicator, which is going to be on the top. So if you have the wrong brake pad, this will be in the bottom. Alright, so this is going to be on the top. So you take this brake pad, place it right in there. Again, it should go in smoothly, alright? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to compress this piston, right, on this caliper. We're going to take a tool, C-clamp. You can put a brake pad there to push it back. But my tool has a big round little washer thing here. It fits perfectly on that piston. Alright, once I have that in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this caliper back up. I'm going to go get a rag because I'm going to clean this pin here. Alright, so I got my little rag here. I'm going to clean this. I'm going to put new grease on this pin. And I'm going to clean the caliper pin here. What I'll do is I'll take some grease, put it onto this little pin here. You don't have to put a whole lot, just little enough so it can move around in there. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing with the pin on this caliper. A little bit of grease, and also I'm going to put some grease onto this brake pads on the outer edges. Alright, I'll show you in a little bit. Alright, let's take a look at it. There I have new brake pads. All right, what I'll do next is, let me put my camera back. I'll take this caliper. We're gonna slide this pin on the top here. So pretty much I'm sliding the pin on the top inward, all right? And then I'll take my caliper, bring it down just like that. And I'm gonna take the 14. We'll put the 14 in. And I'll go get a ratchet to tighten that up. I got the number 14 on the ratchet, and I'll tighten this, all right? Nice and tight. Sometimes this will move. Make sure you grab it, right? And turn and tighten it. It should not be loose, right? It's the same procedure for the opposite end on the passenger side. So the job here is complete. If you have any questions, you can message me, and please subscribe. And that's it. The brake pads are in there. If you have a Kia Sorento, and this is the procedure you're going to use to replace the rear brake pads.